Absolutely.
No, I have 2 or 3 points to make. Number one, I think Neelam made a very important point about witnesses. When the incident with Jessica Lal happened, there were at least 200 people from the so-called creme de la creme of Delhi society.
Point is taken.
Who had their own spheres of influence, but did not have the courage to sign up as witnesses. Okay, so this is how debased our morality levels are. The second, as you rightly said about the police is working not for the Aam Aadmi. This is no longer a democracy of the people, by the people, for the people. It's a democracy for the people who are running the country or ostensibly trying to run the country. So you don't have accountability. The Delhi Police Commissioner is not bothered about you or me. He has to worry about guarding some jokers who should have not been in existence in the first place, but are using up security time for no rhyme or reason. You have prime ministers who even the terrorists won't remember, who after demitting office still have SPG cover. I mean, there has to be some kind of rationality.
Yeah.
You cannot have a capital of a city, of a country, which is always in national and international news for molestation, rape.
Yeah, totally.
For gun running.
Yeah,
Rajesh. What kind of a city are we building?
Go on, Rajesh.
Anna, one more point. See, I think one of the reasons is Delhi is also surrounded by, if you realize, completely lawless states. It's so easy to commit a crime and just get out of Delhi. Steal something, cars, in fact, people know cars are stolen and they are completely taken apart in Meerut in the next 2 hours. You won't even know where the thing is gone. And it's just like that all over.
No, but you see what happens is, I am again asking tonight, I want the Delhi Police Commissioner to, I want the Delhi Police Commissioner to please tell us why they did nothing so far. Why did they do nothing so far?
1 minute. Arnab, why don't you ask the Congress President?
I agree. I'm not absolving him.
Mulayam Singh or Mayawati as to why DP Yadav was even thought of in the first place for a political ticket in these elections.
Good point.
We are allowing criminals to continue to run this country. We have absolute scoundrels and no one wants to do anything to these jokers.
Obviously, This time he has not been taken by any party, but he can still contest an election, and all the political parties will insist that unless a person is convicted, he can fight an election. We need a rule for that, if you are accused of 20 heinous crimes, I mean have a number 5, 10, 15, you will not be able to contest election. Why should they, first of all? Even if it's a wrong accusation, there are lots of people without any charges, so let them contest. And then the blatant display of power. I mean, you saw what happened when Bharti came and everybody went around the city. I mean, the whole gang of hoodlums went around with guns, sort of celebrating her departure. Was there any proactive action by the police? No. Definitely the Delhi police. We need a commissioner who will come and, interact with the common people. Not somebody who lives in his ivory towers and throws statistics.
No, we also have to get our priorities right. We are going into this endless analysis of how this caste and that caste and this caste and that subcaste will vote and swing on which caste above which caste. That endless analysis is going on television here nowadays. But the fact is, we don't ask. For the last 1 week, I'm sorry, but where's the story in the media as well? This story is coming out after 1 week on Times Now. Maybe by tomorrow morning they're going to act. The story is not in the media. The story is not been. I don't know what the hotel has done. I don't know why the police has done nothing. I want an answer to that. And I know it's embarrassing, but I must say, like Umesh Kant Pandey died in September 2011, a toll collector. That story was followed up because the visuals were put out in the media. What was the Delhi police doing as far as that particular toll guard's murder was? Nothing. Zero action. And they only call us and they say, please don't hype this incident. I know we will get phone calls from the Delhi police very soon saying, please play down the incident. It's an isolated incident. It's not an isolated incident. Now, why is this, sort of this drunken rage? I didn't get into a bar, hence I'm going to shoot the person down. Why is this become some pathological situation now?
Yes, it is, and it is linked to many things. It is linked to a greater sense of entitlement, as I mentioned.
Yes.
It's also linked, there's a direct neurological, physiological link between stress and aggression.
Stress.
There is a direct neurological link between stress and aggression, because when you are stressed, the stress reaction is meant to you switch on quickly and switch off quickly, because it pumps you with all these hormones and cortisol and all kinds of stuff in your body, and then it's supposed to switch off so that you can cool down. But if it's becoming chronic, if you're stressed all the time, it's all building up in your body, and one pinprick and your aggression levels are way out. So that's one. I also want to make one other point, please. And that is a concern. And you're talking about priorities and you're talking about solutions, and I appreciate it. It's about parents and it's about children. You mentioned that guns are easily available.
Yeah.
You know, you also mentioned that, and we know that children have access to many more funds than they had earlier.
I agree with you.
And the fact that the video games that they are playing, which are so powerful in their tools today, they suck you in. They are 3D, they have all kinds of effects. They are playing these video games day in and day out. It is making it easy for them, and it's very easy for them to pick up a gun and shoot people dead. They're doing this all the time. So that is one, it's affecting them. They think it's all right to do this. And it can become real, where the lines between fantasy and reality can therefore blur more easily. And the second thing is that with all this information coming at them so quickly, their reactions are impulsive and instant.
Yeah, but you know what? You need to beat them down with a stick. I don't mean physically, but you certainly need to put these people in their place. You need to put them in their place. No, so I don't believe in this kangaroo court justice, but at the same time, you need to set an example. I think these 7 people or 8 people in this incident must be lined up. Cameras must be called. Their interviews should be put out. Their pictures should be put out. They should be embarrassed. Their family members should be embarrassed. This story must be told. There are too many cover-ups going, Sohail. But look, everything that does not involve a VVIP is being covered up.
Delhi is the society. But Delhi is a society where if you go to Tihar jail, you're welcome back at the next dinner.
Society. These people walk into our rooms the next day, and we accept them, and we also.
Okay, one second. What we are doing here today?
Can I quickly share an experience in Tihar jail?
Yeah, sure. But I just want to tell our viewers tonight that we are going to put out right now. You know, our job is to put the story out. You know, we are not trying to only embarrass the Delhi police. We put the story out so that the Delhi Police Commissioner thinks of what's going on in his own territory. Here's the interview of the victim here. His name is Bhupinder Nagar, and he's the person. He tells us what he's gone through and how he feels tonight. This is being played out for the first time on Times Now.
Mr. Bhupinder is exclusively talking to Times. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Bhupinder is exclusively talking to Times Now. Please tell us when did this happen? What happened on that day?
मैम उस दिन मैं अपनी छुट्टी करके जॉब से 1 बजे के करीब घर के लिए निकला, तो मुझे कुछ लोगों ने बताया कि बाहर कुछ लोग इकट्ठे हैं जिनकी आपने एंट्री करने के लिए मना किया। तो मैंने सोचा कि रात में कुछ दिक्कत हो जाएगी, इस वजह से मैं नीचे जाके जो होटल के ड्राइवर्स हैं उनके उसमें लेट गया जाके। मॉर्निंग में मैं सुबह 5 बजे के करीब उठा, वहाँ से चला, तो मेरा एक दोस्त है शरद, मैं उसके साथ ही उसकी गाड़ी में बैठ लिया। मैंने कहा मुझे वहाँ पे कालका जी छोड़ देना, मैं कैब में बैठ के घर चला जाऊँगा। जैसे ही मैं उसकी गाड़ी में बैठ के सत्यम मॉल हॉल पड़ता है वहाँ पे, उसके पास तक पहुँचा तो तभी एक स्विफ्ट गाड़ी मेरा पीछा करने लगी और ओवरटेक करने की उसने कोशिश करी। तो मैंने देखा बराबर में बॉबी बैठा हुआ है इस गाड़ी में, जो रात जिन लोगों को हमने एंट्री के लिए रोका था। मैंने उस शरद से बोला कि भाई गाड़ी थोड़ा तेज चलाओ, ये गाड़ी वही लोगों की है जिन लोगों ने हमें रोका था। हमने गाड़ी थोड़ी तेज चलानी चालू करी। उसके बाद जैसे ही हम मोदी मिल का जो फ्लाईओवर है उस पर चढ़े तो एक ब्लैक कलर की एसेंट दिल्ली नंबर थी, उसका नंबर लास्ट में बीच का मैं देख नहीं पाया, 80 नंबर। उससे मेरे ऊपर 2 फायरिंग करी गई पिस्टल से। और जैसे ही मुझे लगा कि भाई है, तो मैंने इधर क्राउन प्लाजा की तरफ मैगडी है, वहाँ पे पुलिस बैरिकेड होते हैं कि अगर अपने बचाव के लिए मैं वहाँ पे पुलिस वाले होंगे। लेकिन हम वहाँ पे जैसे ही पहुंचे तो वहाँ पे कोई बैरिकेड था लेकिन कोई पुलिस वाला नहीं था। तभी एक वरना, वो 2 गाड़ियां तो हमें पकड़ नहीं पाई, लेकिन एक वरना गाड़ी ने हमें आके ओवरटेक करा सामने से, जस्ट बराबर से ही। एकदम हमने सूर्य होटल के अंदर अपनी गाड़ी अंदर डाल दी कि यहाँ कुछ ना कुछ बचाव या कुछ मिलेगा। तभी वहाँ चेकिंग के लिए बैरिकेड थे आगे। उस बैरिकेड में जैसी चेकिंग के लिए गाड़ी रुकी, हम लोगों की गाड़ी रुक गई। पीछे से वरना गाड़ी में से कुछ लोग निकलते हैं, वो अंधाधुंध हम लोगों पे डंडे, हमारी गाड़ी के शीशे वैसे मतलब सब तोड़ देते हैं और मेरे सर पे रॉड से वार करते हैं और मेरे साथी विनोद को काफी तरह मारते हैं खुद.
This entire interview will be played out later at about 11 o'clock on Times Now. But once again tonight, while I thank my guests here, we need fast-track courts to handle these kind of situations. This goes out. I think the people of Delhi need to start a citizens movement, because we are told multiple incidents happen like this. We are told there's a culture of concealment. We are told hotels and individuals try and conceal the information. And there are 40 million illegal arms in India today. After America, we are the second largest country with illegal arms. We need to think about what's happening. I thank you all, and we'll follow up the story in great detail. The Delhi Police Commissioner is welcome to give us his version. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this part of the News Hour debate.